Hey everybody, welcome back. For those who don't know, my name is Axel. I've been making Disney videos for a few years now, and recently we won the green card lottery. So if you're here for that, welcome to the channel. Go check out the other videos. There's a lot more to see. There's a lot more to come. Today I'm going to talk to you about buying a car and getting a driver's license here in Florida. First thing that we did, and you wouldn't expect it, is buy a car. We did that our first day that we arrived here, which is weird. It's a weird concept for us. We've lived in Belgium all our lives, and it's like when we go and buy a car there, you go to the dealership, you shop around, you have to get your insurance done, you have to get your papers done. Everything has to be done, and you won't get that car, you won't drive it for the next couple of days because there's some time between you buying the car and actually getting in and driving away. Well, that's not the same here in the US. We walked in to a dealership just to go check out a car that we had seen online. We took it for a drive, and believe it or not, 4.5 hours, 5 hours later, we drove it off the lot. It was that easy, which is really weird because we were new. We didn't have a US driver's license. We never had a US insurance before, and we were still able to drive that thing off the lot. So there's a few things that were important for us, and that made this all possible. First thing, we did have a credit history. Now I'm gonna come back to that on a video I'm gonna do later on about how to build your credit as if you're new here in the US, if you never had any credit before. But we did have that little bit of a credit score, so that made it possible for us to finance the car. Another thing is that we bought at Volkswagen. So VW has his own financial institute, has his own financial bank, whatever you want to call it. They provide the loan for your car, which makes it a bit easier to get approved because they know, like, you're buying a car of them. They know you're going to sell you a car. So the whole finance is a bit of an easier thing to do. Insurance, I'm sure we could have gotten a cheaper insurance because we had no insurance history, because that's another thing. You have to have credit history to buy stuff or to rent, no matter what. But you have to have a insurance history so you can get the cost of your insurance down. That wasn't the case for us, even though I have driven a car for 15 years now, 15, 16 years. It wasn't as easy to get an insurance. Well, it was easy to get one. It wasn't easy to get a cheap one. I think we pay now for one, I think every 6 months, we're about $1,000, which is huge. It's super expensive. And we know, unfortunately, and that's for everybody out there who's going to make the jump to the US, if you do not have a history, you will pay a lot, unfortunate. But you can work on that. Like in 6 months, we'll see what else is coming. We've added a car by now, so that made it go down as well. You can add different insurances to the same company, which make those payments go lower. There's a lot of things to do. So buying a car, pretty easy and straightforward. You walk in, they do the tour, you go for a test drive, you do all those papers. And something really weird for us, because like a number, like a license plate, we have to ask that. Well, I have to put a demand in. It gets shipped to your house or to the dealership as you want. But the dealership has the license plates here. which is a really weird thing for us, that we didn't have to go through anybody else. They do it right there. They put it on, and then you drive away. Good thing here you only need one. Like in Belgium, we had to go and make one for the front as well. Here you only need one license plate, and it's the back one, which makes it a bit easier and a bit quicker to get there. Now, you can buy a car without a US driver's license. That's no problem. We did that. For our insurance, however, they did ask us to provide one within the 4 weeks. As we bought our car, the very first day that we arrived, the pressure was on, and we had to get our driver's license. Geez, where do I start? Driving in Florida it's weird. You have this combination from locals who are always in a hurry. They drive like crazy, and they just don't hit you, but you're like in a panic because like, how are they driving? Then you have the older people who come and retire here. They drive, to say it nicely, different, more protective. And then you have the tourists, which you have a lot of them here. They don't know where they're going, so they will make sudden moves, sudden turns, which can be surprising, to say the least. So it's not that easy to drive, let alone to get your license. Belgium, unfortunately, is one of the countries where we have to do or redo everything. There's a few countries who get away by just doing the practical exam, so the drive test. They don't have to do the written test. There's other countries who can just exchange their driver's license, which, again, for Belgium, didn't happen. So we had to study again. There's online tests, which you can do. They have like a lot of the questions you've been asked, or we've been asked. So, thing is, after that, you have to make an appointment because you don't want to wait at DMV. The only thing that I see or that I saw thinking about the DMV was The Simpsons with the long wait lines.
Some days we don't let the line move at all. We call those weekdays.
Or even worse, Zootopia. It is not that bad. It went actually pretty well because online, for the counties here, you can make an appointment. Some of them you cannot go without an appointment to do your driver's test. So that's good. You come in, they take a picture, you have to sign a few papers, check your ID and all that stuff. And then you go in to a little computer room where you get your written test. Well, written test, you're just sitting in front of a computer where you're going to do the multiple choice questions. There's 50 questions. To pass, you have to have 40 questions correct. Good thing is you can pass on a question which will come back to you later on. So if you don't know, you can just pass and it just turns in a loop. Good thing is, however, that once you hit the 40 questions, you're done. You can go and you passed your written test. So that was the case for me. I had a few questions where I was hesitating because although I know how to drive a car, some of the rules are a bit different here. So there were a few questions that I said like, okay, I'm not sure. I'm going to pass on that and I'm going to see later on. But once I hit the 40th that I was correct, the test stopped. And I said like, okay, you're all done and you're good to go. Now, at the time where we took our driver's license, we only had one car. So we had to make the appointments that both Elisa and I could go in to take our written exam, which is pretty easy. But for the driving test, we had to book a slot that was far enough apart. And because we wanted to do everything in one day, we had to go to another DMV. Imagine this, you have every county, and the different counties have different DMVs. As long as you stay in your county, you can switch DMVs. So we went to one place to get our written exam, and then we went to another place because that place still had availability to get our driving test, our road test, that same day. So we did just that. What can I say? The driving test, although I was super stressed, it's easy. Like, I remember when I was 17 or 18 back in the days, because in Belgium you have to be 18 to drive a car, not as in the US 16. I know that we went on the road and we drove for 25 to half an hour through traffic. Like, it was a lot of driving, and they were really strict. Here, I think it took altogether 7 to 8 minutes. We got in the car, drove around the parking lot, parked in the front, had to drive away. We crossed the road, accelerate, stop, drive backwards, turn again, turn in the street, go back to the center, and that was it. That wasn't too difficult. Maybe that's the reason why some of the people here drive a little bit edgy. But we succeeded. It's a big relief. Because a driver's license, you do not only need that to drive a car, but this is your ID. I know that especially in Europe, we had our ID and we had our driver's license, two totally separate things. Now, if you don't have a driver's license here, you have to go to the DMV and apply for an ID. It does not mean that you have to have a driver's license, but you have to have an ID. It's the same thing. It's just like, if you have a driver's license, this is your ID as well. This does everything. It lets you into the library to get books, no matter what. Everything that's county-wise, that driver's license is an important piece. And now we have it. And I'm really proud that Elise and I succeeded both from the very first time. We started our day, I think it was 8 a.m. because our county it's pretty big, so driving from one place to another, it was a long drive. We started 8 a.m. in the morning, and we were done by 6 p.m. It was a long, long day. So that's in our case because we wanted to do everything the same day. We only had one car, but it is possible to do so. And if you're here and you're looking to do everything in one day, know that within a county, you can switch DMVs without any problem. That's still possible. There is a fee. I don't know how much we paid for our driver's license. I think it was to do everything, maybe $70. I'm not 100% sure, but we paid that, and that was it. Once you move to a different address, your address is on your license, so you need to bring that in and get it changed, of course, and you will pay again. I mean, that's normal, not that different. So yeah, guys, this is our story, how we bought a car, how we got our driver's license. If you're here, you moved here from another country, and you got your driver's license, put it down below in the comments how it went for you. If you have any questions about buying a car, I mean, I'm definitely not a specialist. We took Volkswagen because we knew it, and we drove one when we were back in Belgium. So it was one less thing to worry about. But yeah, that's it. We both have our car now. We both have our driver's license. And in these times, depending on when you look at this video, we have a stay-at-home order over the whole state. It's not that we can go really far with those cars, but still, things will get better. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the kind messages. We do appreciate it. If you're in the running for a green card, let us know. Give it a message down below. If you have any specific questions, if you have any ideas or any questions that you want me to make a video about, don't hesitate. Drop it down below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye, guys.